Hi, my name's Gavin with Trout Lake Fire. I'm a captain on the department here. We're going to do a virtual tour of the Trout Lake Emergency Center. We also house various entities of law enforcement here. We're going to go inside and give you a tour of the fire department side. Start in the office. This here's our chief, Kenny. We'll let him take it from here.
Well, hey guys. Looking forward to showing you around the place. My name is Ken DeCoster. I'm current fire chief at the Trout Lake Fire Department. Let's hop out into the hallway by where you guys came in, and love to show you our retiree wall with some memorabilia. All of these are helmet fronts, and they represent all of our retirees from both Coleraine and Bovey Fire Departments. We've since combined, and we are now the Trout Lake Fire Department. Anybody who has served 10 years or more has a helmet front on this wall. Many of these gentlemen have 20 or more years, and as you see the big numbers in the front, that's how many years they served. Along the wall in between are some pictures throughout the history of the area that we cover. We're really proud of this wall. There's a lot of history here, and there's a lot of community service within all these names. On the other wall, we have some memorabilia as well, some helmets, some very old turnout gear, as well as some pictures and some other things. For us, it's real important to remember not only what we're preparing for, but also what's taken place in the past and the people who came before us. This is on this part of the wall. These are our current firefighters. We have 21 active men and women in our fire department right now. In here is our meeting room. We're not the only ones that use this for training and meeting purposes. Our law enforcement agencies that share the building with us as part of the emergency center hold meetings in here as well. As a matter of fact, one of the meetings just got done. We can walk down the hallway this way. We have a few other pictures. History of the American firefighter. This is a picture of a few of our personnel in, and believe it or not, that's a training burn. And that print being a reference to 9/11. To this door we have our truck bays, where our fleet of equipment is. We have a number of different trucks, and they have very specific purposes. This is our first truck that is a heavy rescue. We carry a lot of equipment on this for both rescue and including water rescue. The truck up here that Gavin's standing next to is our water tender. This is a 3,000-gallon water tender. We have a lot of rural fires, both structures and grass fires, where our water tender is utilized on a regular basis, not only for our department, but for neighboring departments with our countywide mutual aid agreement. In our next bay, we have our two engines. The rear engine is a fully equipped engine. The front engine is our newest vehicle in our fleet, actually just months old. This has now become, since we have trained on it, our first out vehicle for any kind of rescue, extrication, and any kind of fire. And we'll circle back to that to look at a little bit of the equipment on that. We'll walk between our engines into our last bay. We have two different grass trucks, grass rigs we call them. We actually use them for several things. Our first out truck is the red one, and not only do we use that for grass fires and potentially other rescue calls as well, but we also roll these trucks for a lot of our medicals as well. And our medical calls might be any kind of an ambulance call in the area that we serve. And then against our wall over here, we have all of our lockers for turnout gear. We can talk about that a little bit more in the future. But let's swing back over to truck 44, our newest engine. Gavin's going to pop some of the lights on there for us so you can see things a little bit better. We have several hose lines on this truck that we call pre-connects that are already hooked up, they're ready to go. All we have to do is pull them out and go to work with them when we get to a fire. Time is of the essence, and it's important that we can react as quickly as possible and as safely as possible in those situations. So just walking through this, we always carry a medical bag on our engine. Even though we have medical bags in these trucks, both of our engines are equipped with medical bags in case we encounter somebody who needs it upon our arrival, or in case a firefighter needs medical attention. We carry a lot of hand tools. These are Halligans and axes. Halligan might be something that people haven't heard about, but that is a firefighter's main hand tool. We use them for all sorts of different things. This opens up so we have more storage for additional hand tools, a piercing nozzle. This board is very important. This board is how we keep track of all of our personnel on a scene, because safety is paramount for our firefighters on any scene we go to. We train hard about safety. Gavin, if there's anything that you have to add to this, please feel free to jump in as well.
Okay.
In this bay we have several things. We have a case-saw, which is used to cut a lot of different kinds of materials. We have a chainsaw with a special protection, it's a special protector on it, as well as a special blade. We use fans quite often as well. There's a generator down here. We've got an electric fan and a gas fan. A lot of what we do for when we attack a fire to get it out as quickly as possible is positive pressure. So by introducing that and getting smoke out of our way, we can more effectively and safely fight that fire. As we move around to the other side. This equipment bay is very important. This bay holds all of our extrication tools. If you've ever heard somebody talk about the jaws of life, this is what they're referring to. These tools are set up so that we can grab them quickly and get them to where they need to go. We respond to quite a few car accidents, and these are used on a regular basis. This is the base unit that provides the power for our tools. Notice we have several fire extinguishers on the truck. These are also pieces of extrication equipment. These are struts that help stabilize any vehicle. Oftentimes they are not, most of the time, they're not in real pristine condition when we get them. And when we get to them, so it makes a difference, and we want to make sure again that that car is stabilized before we start doing anything to it. These are extra pieces that go along with that, with the struts, and can be utilized on their own, as well as airbags that'll stabilize underneath the car if it has rolled or if it's on a hill. We always carry plenty of water. It's important that our firefighters stay hydrated. This is all foam, because we use foam capabilities when we're at a fire, so that it will coat the fuel source of the fire and helps put it out much more quickly than just using water alone. The other side of a couple of our attack lines, of course, lights and extra air tanks. Lights become very important. Lights are only so effective because, and that's why one of the reasons why we have those fans is because when the smoke's real thick, that light just bounces off, and it's really tough to see. But we look for whatever help we can get as far as getting an edge and being able to see what's going on and staying safe. We call this part of the truck the jump cab because this is where our firefighters are going to ride on the way to the scene, whether it be a car accident, whether it be a structure fire, a grass fire, whatever it is. This is where they're riding, they're communicating and talking to each other. It is also where pump operations take place, so that we can make sure that the proper water flow is going and monitor our water levels to make sure that no firefighter is going to be on a hose that runs out. If we circle around to the front, you'll see that we have a couple of bumper lines as well. These are other lines that we call pre-connects. We can pull these off They're already hooked up. All we have to do is get water to them and start flowing. That's our newest truck and our main engine. We can step over here and take a look at some PPE, personal protective equipment, as far as our turnout gear. We'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll see if we can round up a volunteer to put some of that on so you can see what that looks like. Well, I was right. We found somebody that would help us out. This is Janelle. She's one of our firefighters, and she's going to don some of her turnout gear so that we can take a look at what someone looks like for when they're in full turnout gear. And really, some of this, go ahead, Janelle, if you would help us out. Really, some of this is more for our younger viewers. It's really important that some of our younger viewers know what a firefighter looks like and sounds like when they've got all of their gear on at once. Our gear is very specialized, made of special material to protect us in all kinds of different situations, certainly from the heat of the fire, but also from other things like toxins, smoke, those kinds of things. When we have this turnout gear in our lockers, we all like to have things a little bit differently, but we all know exactly what we've got and where we have everything, so we can get our gear on during the call as quickly as possible. You can see it doesn't take Janelle long, even when she's out here in a spot that she's normally not going to be putting her things on. She's putting a Nomex hood on right now. When we get to a fire, we're all about safety. That's why she's got this equipment on. It's also important to remember that at a fire, and you're going to see she's going to look quite a bit different when she puts this mask on, but at a fire, there's a lot of noise. The fire itself can be noisy. That smoke can make things dark, whether it's day or night. When we pull up with our trucks, that's additional noise. When we use the fans that we talked about earlier, there's more noise going on then. So when we get these masks on, now our voice doesn't carry the same, and we're going to sound different. So we do almost everything at a fire in teams of 2 or more. So even when we're this close, if we both have masks on, we've got to really raise our voice to be able to hear each other and understand each other. If anybody was ever in a smoke-filled room and couldn't see to get themselves out, it would be important to know what someone's going to look like and sound like that's going to be coming to help them and help them get out safely. We definitely use a buddy system. Now, these air packs are actually built into, they actually sit back into the seat of our jump cab so that we can get those on before we leave a call or right when we get there. It's very difficult to do when you're driving because you're buckled up for safety. And there we have it, really, with the exception of gloves. She's got everything on, and again, this is what someone's going to look like when they're in a fire, when they're fighting that fire, when they're searching for somebody that might be in a fire or in a smoke-filled room, trying to get them out safely. Oftentimes we don't just walk in standing up, we crawl in because it's safer. It might be the safest way for you to get out of a smoke-filled room. It's the safest way for us to get into that smoke-filled room to see if anybody needs help or to get that fire out as well. Janelle, do you think you could say hello to everybody just so they can hear what you sound like?
Hi everyone, this is what it looks like when you have all your gear on.
All right. Thanks so much for helping us out today. All right. Well, folks, that concludes the tour of the Trout Lake Emergency Center Fire Department side. We really hope that this has been beneficial for you. We hope that you're able to stay safe, and we wish you the best. Take care.